Good evening, Patriots. This is Praying Medic, and this is my QAnon broadcast for Wednesday, August 26th. Welcome to the broadcast. Pay no attention to the date here on my Twitter thread. Little typo there. Sorry about that. Those of you who are following along at home, you can find Q posts on a number of different websites, including qanon.pub, qmap.pub, and qalerts.app. If you have an Android device and you'd like to get notifications on your mobile device when Q is posting, you can go to either qalerts.app or qmap.pub. Follow the instructions on the websites that explain how to install the apps manually. My theme for this broadcast is the Great Deceivers. All right, we're going to talk about symbolism here. A minor theme of Q's posts is how elites use symbolism to convey their support for certain ideologies. The problem with pointing out suspected cases of the use of symbolism is that it can be taken too far, and sometimes you can make incorrect assumptions. Just going to give you a couple of examples of that. Many people have asked me why President Trump uses Illuminati hand gestures. Actually, when this is first brought to my attention, I had no idea what these people were talking about. I didn't know there were Illuminati hand gestures. So I looked it up, and sure enough, some people say that if you hold your hands in a pyramid shape, that is an Illuminati hand gesture, which President Trump sometimes does. Actually, I think I do too once in a while. So the argument is then made that anyone who holds their hands this way has to be a member of the Illuminati. Of course, some people hold their hands in these positions not knowing that it's supposed to have a secret meaning, not knowing it is associated with the Illuminati. Then you make this inference that is not necessarily true. People have accused me of using an Illuminati symbol on the cover of my book, Calm Before the Storm. I didn't know what they were referring to, so I asked what specifically about my book was associated with the Illuminati, and I was told that the checkerboard pattern is an Illuminati symbol. And of course, again, I wasn't aware that people associated a checkerboard with the Illuminati. I chose that checkerboard pattern on my book because a lot of Q's operation involves game theory, and Calm Before the Storm actually has an entire chapter on game theory. And I explain game theory using chess as an illustration, and we decided to use the chessboard on the cover, not knowing that some people associate that with the Illuminati. Someone asked me, how did I not know that the checkerboard was a symbol of the Illuminati? Well, I'm not a truther. I've never really followed the truther community. Up until Q came along, I didn't involve myself in any of this stuff. So that's why I didn't know. Actually, most of the world's population are not truthers, and they have no idea that any of these things are supposed to be connected to the Illuminati. The point being that sometimes people will infer the use of symbolism where it is not intended. Now, there are people who use symbolism that is intentional. Q posted this on November 21st, 2017. Speaking of the elites, their need for symbolism will be their downfall. Follow the owl and Y head around the world. Identify and list. They don't hide it. They don't fear you. You are sheep to them. You are feeders. Godfather 3, Q. Signature Godfather 3 has to do with the Vatican and the Mafia. And that is actually going to be a chapter in my upcoming book. It'll be the second book in the Q Chronicles, and the title of that book is A Great Awakening. That should be out in a couple of weeks. All right, so Q talks about symbolism here and talks about the Y, or the goat head symbolism. The goat head, Baphomet symbol, is actually a trademarked insignia of the Church of Satan. And it's typified by this goat head with the horns here, kind of a triangular shaped or Y-shaped head. And it can be in either black or reversed in white. The Democratic National Convention uses this as their logo in their campaign art. So we've got a kind of a blue trident pointing to the right, and then it's part of a five-pointed star, in the middle of a D, and then you've got 20 for 2020 in Wisconsin, which is where the convention was held. Here's another example of that art, and here's another one with some merchandise. The image that was posted by Q today has that Baphomet insignia in its usual orientation, and the DNC art is rotated 90 degrees clockwise, right? So you got this trident here, and you have the same trident here in the star. So there's a question: is this an intentional use of symbolism in the DNC artwork? Well, I don't know. I don't know what their intention was when they created this artwork. But Q posted this image. It's from a tweet. It says, "Watching the DNC last night, I noticed their logo. Now where have I seen that uneven star before? Hiding in plain sight." So Q posted a link to a tweet by the president. We'll get to that in just a minute. And then Q said, one party discusses God, one party discusses darkness, one party promotes God, one party eliminates God. Symbolism will be their downfall, the great deceivers. When was the last time you witnessed a Democrat Party leader being patriotic, exhibiting national pride and love of country? When was the last time you witnessed a Democrat Party leader speak out against the riots, violence in the streets? When was the last time you witnessed a Democrat Party leader support those who took an oath to protect and defend? Now that's a good question. Why do they want to defund the police? When was the last time you witnessed a D Party leader support and call for unity across our nation? All assets deployed, information warfare, infiltration, destruction of America. Have faith in humanity, have faith in yourself. United we stand. God wins. Q. This is an article about Susan Rice and statements she made about Mike Pompeo, and she feels that Mike Pompeo's overt expressions of his faith are problematic. Why do these people disdain God and religion, or public displays of faith and religion? So here's a tweet from the president. He noted that 2 Democrat caucus meetings removed "under God" from the Pledge of Allegiance. Sounded not only strange, but terrible. That's where they're coming from. Why would Democrat caucus meetings want to remove the words "under God" from the Pledge of Allegiance? It's worth noting that Q did not respond to or make any comments about the resolution in the House that is coming forward to condemn Q as a terror threat. That gets us caught up to Q for today. If you'd enjoyed this broadcast, you might want to subscribe to my channel. If you'd like to support me on Patreon, the link to my Patreon page is in the description box. The link to my book, Calm Before the Storm, is also in the description box. Please keep me and Denise in prayer. Keep the president in prayer. Keep Q and the team in prayer. Keep the military in prayer. And keep the Secret Service in prayer. And I will catch you on the next broadcast.